So everyone, Kane is choosing the movies this marathon, and I can feel it's something special. Something's cooking in the works.
These films are really near and dear to my heart, I'm not gonna lie. They've made me into the man that I am today, and it teaches you a lot about chosen family and the abuse of young people in the entertainment industry.
Is this the big one, Kane?
We're doing it. It's the one. We're doing Alvin and the Chipmunks.
What have you done?
Gotta be fucking kidding.
Here's the first movie.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Peel that pig and slice him thick.
The body count is always bigger.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
And the fucking trees walked in those movies. Hi, doggy.
What a story, Mark.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Life moves pretty fast.
If you want your sequel to become a franchise.
37 dicks.
In a row?
I'm your number one fan.
G'day, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another episode of Marathon Me with your host, Kane.
And Rhys.
And today we're starting a new franchise. We decided to kind of switch things up a little bit with, we've been doing a lot of horror movies and a lot of, serious action fare with, our last series being Mad Max. We decided to switch it up a little bit by going back to some of our roots, going back to a kids movie series, like similar to that of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, one of our oldest and one of my personal favorite series that we've tackled. And Rhys decided, the crazy man decided, to let me be the one to choose the franchise. And let's just say, I think I cooked with this one, Rhys. I think I cooked with this one. Yes, it is not a joke. We are doing Alvin and the Chipmunks for this series.
What have I done?
What have I done? Indeed. What have you done? Indeed. This was actually. It wasn't the first solid choice that I had. I purely suggested it as kind of to put as a placeholder almost. A placeholder that Rhys even seemed a little bit keen about, okay? I know, I could hear your voice kind of perk up when we were talking about doing franchises, and you were kind of interested in doing the Chipmunks, right?
You know what? I went in with an open mind and an open heart, and Mad Max was simply just an appetizer, simply just a warm-up for us to eat some good real food, finally, with Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Finally, a gourmet dish, boys.
Yeah, exactly. This was a bit of its own roller coaster, I feel, doing this marathon. I don't know about you, but I did it in one full sitting. Went from Alvin and the Chipmunks 1 all the way to the road trip, and it was an emotional experience, to say the least.
Yeah, I can imagine.
This is the first time that we're doing something that fits into the genre of animated characters entering the real world to guide a man to his purpose. and am I happy to visit this genre? One of the pinnacles.
It's great, man. One of the pinnacles, you were gonna say, yeah?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's one of the scaffolding that holds up our cinema industry, right? Especially in like around the 2010s sort of thing.
Oh yeah, with it was the precursor to movies like Hop and the Sonic the Hedgehog movie and
the Smurfs.
The Smurfs, Yogi Bear, like come on, bangers, boys.
The list doesn't end. This was populating our cinematic journeys as like from the ages of probably like 7 to like 13. Every school holidays felt like there was one of these movies popping out, right? Around the sort of early 2010s, late 2000s sort of period. And I have to say, Alvin and the Chipmunks was a highlight. There was something about the moment when it came out that everyone was going chipmunk crazy, man.
There was Chipmunk fever in 2007. This series, like as it went on, was an event series.
It
really.
Was. You're right.
As crazy as it is to say, it really was.
Yeah, and I was pretty excited to revisit these because, like, a little bit of my childhood excitement came back out to the surface, thinking about visiting our good friends Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, and who can forget Dave, who now as adults, it feels like we have a little bit closer of a relationship with Dave from him being played by Jason Lee himself, a hero in our
definitely.
life.
Exactly, man. A man that you and I both idolize, you know? We idolize, we adore him.
And like, Kane, I'm so glad that you're here to guide this one. And do you have a little bit of like any backstory to tell us about what Alvin and the Chipmunks is?
I do have a little bit of a backstory. So basically, this IP came up in the fucking in the late 50s, which surprised me because I always assumed that Alvin. I always assumed Alvin and the Chipmunks was like maybe a late 60s, early 70s kind of thing. That like really the main popularity of the Chipmunks that I was at least somewhat familiar with was their 80s run because they had like a lot of cartoon movies. They had a show which then also introduced like a cartoon show that introduced the female counterparts, the Chipettes, which we'll discuss in the Squeakquel, as aptly titled. But no, it started. Yeah, so it initially started in the late 50s by a man named Ross Bagdasarian.
And was it just a music group at this point?
It was initially a little. All right. So basically, before the Chipmunks were even conceived, he had made a song previously called "Witch Doctor," which it's not the one that. It's not which I found out is not the song that I know, because, you know, there's the one that's like you've listened to the song Witch Doctor, right? It's like, ooh, ee, ooh, ooh, ah, ting, you know that one? Yeah. So the one that I knew, was from the fucking 90s. The 1950s one was the original, which featured chipmunk voices, which basically what he did was he just kind of sung, you know, he sang it and then just kind of, he pitched up the recordings because he had state-of-the-art recording system.
What? So it's not sung by chipmunks.
It's not. I'm sorry to say that Alvin the Chipmunks it's in the same vein as, say, Gorillaz, where it is a virtual band. They're not real. It's like Hatsune Miku. They're not real, Rhys. I'm sorry to say.
The gorillas aren't real gorillas?
I'm sorry, man. They're not real. They're fictional characters, man.
Warn me before telling me news like this. Actually, I know that you're lying. I just watched 4 movies that shows that chipmunks sing these songs. You fucking idiot. You cheeky bugger, you.
Look, if you don't want to believe me, that's fine, okay? Live in your fantasy world, okay? I'll stay in the real world, alright? That's fine. But no, anyways, so eventually in late, I'd say November, in November 1958 is when we were introduced to the Chipmunks with their debut hit single, Christmas Don't Be Late, the Chipmunk song. And since then, that's what got the ball rolling on the Chipmunks IP franchise as we know it. And then sadly, we lost the man Ross Bagdasarian in the mid to late 70s, where eventually his son, Ross Jr., took over the IP, wanting to kind of honor his dad's legacy because he felt, and I watched quite a few behind the scenes of these fucking movies, is that he felt that if he kept the Chipmunks IP alive, a part of his dad would live on as well. So he did it as a labor of love. And now, obviously, that we had the 80s cartoon series, we had all these movies that kids grew up with, we have the movies, we have that horrific fucking CGI series called Alvin that came out on Netflix a while ago. I don't know, I haven't fucking watched it, I don't want to watch it.
You haven't watched it? I watched an episode the other day.
Did you actually?
I did. I did a little bit of research.
Oh my fucking God.
It was painful. It was absolutely painful to watch, but
I could imagine that it was as painful to watch as it is painful to just look at, because what the fuck is that animation, dude? Like, come on. No, but before we kind of get into our thoughts on this movie, I just want to quickly just say that I'm on the same boat as Rhys, where I was very excited to go into these movies on both an unironic and ironic sense, because one, it's just funny that, like, a 23-year-old man is going in and spending his night watching all 4 Chipmunks movies, because, yes, I did the same thing, Rhys. I binged them all in one fucking sitting.
Yeah. Man, when I first sat down, I do have to admit I had a sneaky smoke just beforehand, and I sat down to go watch the first one, loving the idea of the experience I was just about to undertake, right?
Yeah.
I was there laughing at myself, like, this is so funny. I can't believe that I'm a 22-year-old man sitting down to watch all the Chipmunk movies.
Yeah.
And then slowly, not even before the first film ended, the reality hit me of... I'm a 22-year-old man sitting down on a Friday night. No, it was a Sunday night. It was a work night.
Yeah.
Sitting down, watching all of the Chipmunk movies by myself. And my experience went downhill from there, I've got to say.
Oh, really? Because my experience was... I'd say my experience just, like, it got better as it went on, because I'll admit I did have a cheeky drinky poo while watching these movies. However, I watched the first two movies stone cold sober. Stone cold. Completely just locked into this franchise, especially for this first movie. And... It was I did this on a Monday night as well. I didn't have work the next day, so I had all the time in the world to watch these films. And I guess we should just get into it, talk about our thoughts on this first movie. Rhys, would you like to start off, or would you like me to start off?
Well, before we get into that, here's a little bit of the trailer of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
As a songwriter, Dave Savil was a nobody.
Let's talk about your song, Dave.
Well, as crazy as it sounds...
I hate it.
What?
Not that good.
But tonight, he's finally going to get...
where are you, little suckers?
His big break.
You guys, he's dead!
Chipmunks can't talk?
Oh, yeah? Check this out.
You guys sing my songs, you get to sleep here.
Sweet!
From 20th Century Fox. When it comes to party animals...
All right, guys. Coffee.
It doesn't get any wilder.
My life is being sabotaged by talking chipmunks.
So this first Chipmunks movie is directed by a fellow named Tim Hill, who we know that we've got someone with their finger on the pulse with this genre of movie, because they're coming from, they made Hop. Another one of these...
That's the movie he fucking directed. I was trying to remember. Shit.
As well as Hop 2, Hippity, and Hopper. No, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I was going to say, mate, I'd know if there was a Hop 2 starring Russell Brand. Come on, mate.
Yeah. Russell Brand as the Easter Bunny. What the fuck?
That's fucked.
What is this world that we live in? But he did do another animated animal, like, helping and finding the purpose for, like, a live-action human with Garfield 2, with Bill Murray as Garfield.
Woo-hoo! Let's fucking go, man. Hey, I'll bring this up later. We'll tie back into Garfield and Bill Murray later.
And one of his most recent efforts is a film titled The War on Grandpa, featuring Robert De Niro.
Oh, no. Is this like a mid-2010s De Niro film?
No, dude. This came out like 2 years ago.
Fuck off. Are you serious?
This is a Robert De Niro grandpa versus grandson. Kids. Straight to... Actually, no, I don't even think it was straight to DVD. I think it came out in cinemas.
Fuck off. What?
Yeah.
The second I heard De Niro and grandpa, I'm just like, yeah, nah, garbage.
Yeah, exactly. I have a feeling like this movie is gonna make Dirty Grandpa look good. I'm not even kidding.
No, who knows, man? Who knows?
But with the first Alvin and the Chipmunk movie, I was excited because, man, I could not tell you how many times I saw this as a kid and how much I loved this movie. But
you watched this in theaters, right?
Oh, hell yes. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
One thing that I want to actually highlight now before I forget about it is one thing that Alvin and the Chipmunks had down pat is their marketing. Dude, what they knew how to do was how to make those chipmunks seem like the coolest motherfuckers you've ever seen in your life. Man, you look at those movie posters now, they're all wearing hoodies, they're looking badass, like no one's telling them what to do.
Hell no, here comes trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I think that's the tagline for the poster, I'm pretty sure.
Is that actually?
I swear to God, I swear I've seen one of the posters where it says, like, here comes trouble, I'm pretty sure.
Here comes fucking trouble. That's what I should have had that in my mind when I'm there about to sit down and watch 6 hours of Alvin and the Chipmunks. That's where it got really depressing, this idea of me sitting down and watching all of them, is when I realized that I had 6 hours and almost an entire work day of Alvin and the Chipmunks in one sitting.
Oh my God.
But my overall experience for this first one,
okay,
I had a pretty good time. I honestly quite enjoyed it.
I'm so happy to hear that.
It was surreal as all hell. And the main source of this surrealness is watching Jason Lee be Jason Lee. Like, oh my God, I loved, like, you and I, he does something to me in the same way that Jamie Kennedy does something to me, where I can just watch him do anything on screen. And I had a ball of a time thinking and imagining him during this entire film acting to nothing. Like, acting to green tennis balls on set because I'm sorry to break it to the listeners, but those aren't real chipmunks. They're all animated.
You want to hear something funny? Is that I actually watched a brief behind the scenes of Jason Lee actually acting, and he's not acting towards green tennis balls. During the actual shooting, he's literally acting to legitimately nothing, pieces of tape. He says that he mentions that he will do a practice round where he's talking to toy chipmunks, and then during shooting he has to he has to know all of his beats off by heart and look at pieces of tape marked A, T, and S. It's fucking insane. It was hilarious. It was fucking hysterical hearing him talk about this. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I cannot wait.
Marvel.
When we finish recording today, I'm going straight to watching some behind the scenes stuff because
please do. It was.
I cannot believe that, like, Earl from My Name Is Earl, as well as freaking the skater that, like, this man has created skating tricks before. Like, this is a very prolific man in our culture in one way. And then is also the face of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
He is the face of our man, the myth, the legend, Dave Savil. God bless him.
Yeah, exactly, the Dave Savil. I cannot imagine him getting this call and being like, "Hey, Jason, we've got a role for you.
Oh well,
we've got a 4-movie deal."
Do you want to know who was originally casted? That was originally that was considered for Dave Savil. You want to hear some names?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, can I guess? I know nothing about this. Was Steve Carell on the cards?
No.
Oh, okay. Was Dave Cross originally potentially going to be one?
No, not as Dave.
Okay, I've got one more. Jason Bateman.
No.
Jason Bateman would make such a good fucking Dave.
That would actually be good now that you mention it. Yeah, no, that'd be pretty cool. No,
okay.
All right. So
I have no idea.
I've got some names for you. Okay, so some of the names that were on the line that were considered for the role were John Travolta.
What the fuck?
I fucking know. I know, right? Insane. Ben Stiller.
Okay, I can see that.
That could be all right, honestly. Like that might have worked. Fucking hell.
Well, he would have been too busy talking to monkeys and like museum things come to life at that point.
Yeah, he had his own little franchise. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Sorry, I can't talk to animated chipmunks. We've got to talk to a giant Easter Island statue.
Exactly, and a dinosaur skeleton, and Robin Williams as fucking Franklin Roosevelt or whatever. I don't. Is it Frank? No, Theodore Roosevelt. Sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong one. But yeah, anyways.
Well, I'll talk to a different Theodore.
True. Jim Carrey as well, which he got to act alongside penguins in the hit Mr. Popper's Penguin. So we got something like that, you know. And then my personal favorite is Bill Murray. was considered.
What?
Bill Murray was considered, and Jason Lee, when he got the call, it was super down and excited to take the role, knowing that one of his acting inspirations, Bill Murray, declined it. And as quoted, I think as quoted by Jason Lee, he stated that he was doing backflips when he was offered the role after Bill Murray had turned it down, and immediately jumped on the gun.
Oh my god. I assumed totally differently. I thought that he was going to jump on the gun to blow his fucking mind. I thought that this was potentially an ashamed role of his, but I love that he sort of took this on with a big old smile. And man, it was a good idea for his career. Like, he got a whole fucking franchise out of it, and
exactly.
and box office hits.
Oh my god, yeah. This was also because this was 2007. When did Earl end in 07 or 08? I don't remember.
I think after this.
So this was during a pretty this was a pretty big era for Jason Lee. Critically, these movies were fucking panned, but hey, money talks, man. Money talks. People may hate these movies, but we still got a whole fucking franchise out of it, boys. Let's fucking go. And I will say that fuck the critics, because I too. I mean, obviously, if it wasn't obvious enough, I too had a grand old time watching this movie. Really,
yes.
Not even ironically, I genuinely I really liked it. I had a great time. You know,
I think what really makes it actually quite good is that everyone is in this. As in it feels like all the actors are they get their character. And they want to make something interesting. I feel like they're all having fun. And that comes off the screen, right?
Yeah, no, completely. Especially, I feel like also when it comes to... the way that I kind of see it is that Jason Lee and David Cross in this movie, it's like that they're kind of in on the joke where they know that they're in a shitty kids movie, and they kind of are playing into it, especially David Cross as Uncle Ian, because we'll talk more about the god later, but he just the way he carries himself in this movie is fucking hysterical to me. And with Jason Lee is that it's one half of his character is a complete fucking asshole. But I love it so much. But then there's also a bit of that earnest heart to it that made me remember when I be watching My Name Is Earl, and I get that kind of warm and fuzzy feeling inside that I did with the show, that's just the magic. I think that's just the magic of Jason Lee. He can play an irredeemable fucking asshat like in Dave Savil, but I can still feel like, hey, you're alright kind of thing,
I could not take my eyes off this complete and utter dirtbag.
He's so awful.
It is. This movie is the story of a dirtbag going through a midlife crisis, right? I can't believe that he stole the muffin basket. That is the moment where I'm screaming in my bedroom, what the fuck, Dave?
Oh my god! And then just proceeds to throw the fucking thing out afterwards. The shame had hit him once he got home, and then the moron chucks out all of his music equipment, having a goddamn mental breakdown. I'm like, bro, eBay's around. You screw money. Just chuck it outside. Idiot.
I just could I loved imagining this man existing in the real world, existing as a client at work that comes into the office to pitch something to us.
Yeah,
and then reception is rude to him or something, and then he steals the freaking muffin basket. You would just not. He is a completely undesirable. That is what he is. He's a complete undesirable, this man.
I mean, hey, it's the little things, man. Sometimes you don't have to steal $1 million. Sometimes stealing a muffin basket is all you need to feel like a man, to feel like a fucking legend,
He's also just the most dude that you can see on screen, right? He gets home to put on snakes on the TV, to just watch a snake documentary. And it's man, this guy is living life, bro. I adored this.
He's living life up until his life and his home are invaded by 3 home intruders: Alvin, Simon, and Theodore.
Yes.
And then for a while, we're just watching a psychological thriller where he's basically just being driven to fucking insanity by these maniacs. Basically, they even full on attack him at first. Well, Alvin mainly, and knocking him out. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, okay, I completely forgot about the fact that his first interaction with the Chipmunks is getting violently assaulted by Alvin, and then just locking them out of the house. And this is really what solidified Dave being a fucking dirtbag for me, is that, he's like, oh, talking chipmunks, oh, I'm freaked out, yeah, get the fuck out, kind of thing. And then the second he realizes, oh, I can profit off of these guys. Okay, you have merit now, come in. You guys can, you guys sing my songs for me, you can stay. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're getting one of these characters. I'm very happy. Let's go.
Yes, he just sees the commodity that these chipmunks can be for him, and then that's the only reason that he harbors them in, right? And yeah, completely trying to take advantage of them. But okay, this is not a perfect movie, I have to say. I'm sorry to say it.
What? Unheard of, mate. Unheard of. Why is that?
Everyone cuts Dave so much slack in this film that they don't treat him like he is a psychopath at first when he is telling everyone about these chipmunks. And it also even takes Dave about an hour to come to terms with, okay, I guess there's just talking chipmunks now, and now I will let them live with me. He goes from oh my god, I'm crazy, to, nah, maybe I'm not, it's fine. And And I love this line so much, where I'm very curious about the world of this, about the universe that this world is set in, right?
The lore, basically, yeah.
Yeah, I want to know the rules of this. Are there other talking animals? Is it is it just chipmunks that talk? We see dogs and other animals in this film, they don't talk. There's, what's going on there? And Dave thinks the same thing. He right away asks the chipmunks, do all animals talk? And they don't answer the question. They give this sort of snarky well, we're talking right now, aren't we? And then it's never brought up again. Some
things are better left to the imagination. Some things are better left unknown, Rhys.
But Dave legitimately gets... So imagine this, right? Our world is rocked to its core. We see something that makes us question everything we've ever seen before, like talking chipmunks. And we ask them, what are the rules of this? What's going on? And then they don't give you an answer, so you go, oh, okay, I guess I'm just not gonna know. And you never ask again. And then no one else asks. Ian doesn't ask. The fucking girlfriend doesn't ask. The whole world doesn't ask. Because the whole world, this becomes normal then now. They become celebrities. And everyone just accepts it.
It's insane. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about these movies is they're everyone just takes these singing, talking chipmunks at face value. I fucking love, one of the funniest things about this movie is that when eventually the Christmas song gets released as a single and the Chipmunks, make it mainstream, they're getting Michael Jackson levels of fucking fame. These people are, they're adored by the public. And all I'm thinking to myself is wow, 2007 must have been a slow fucking year for music. What the hell?
I don't think that at all. Think about today, if fucking talking chipmunks become a music, produce music that is listenable, man, everyone would be talking about that. It would rock the fabric of our understanding of how the world works. I'm surprised they weren't more famous. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that there's not a scene where they meet the president in this movie.
Oh, if only. Oh, that'd be fucking great.
You don't see a single scientist trying to interact with frickin' Theodore, and also what the fuck? Also, I have a lot of questions too. How do the chipmunks know what a basket is? They immediately, as they see Dave with the basket, they go,
oh my God, go to the basket!
And they know way too much. Also, how do they know all this?
Simon knows what a fucking mole is. He corrects Alvin on it, and I'm like, bro, have you even been in a fucking mall? How old are these guys? What the fuck's going on? Kind of thing. Like, what the fuck?
I can buy that maybe animals talk in this universe, but how do they have the knowledge of the human world as much as they do there? I thought maybe, like, with, how do they know all these lyrics for these, like top 10 hits of 2007? But you know what? There's the construction, like, there's the people that are working in the forest at the start of the movie. And I assumed they would have radios with them, playing music, playing the radio.
Yes. What kind of fucking construction workers are playing Bad Day? What the fuck? That's not a very dude bro song. But anyway, I see your point, though. I see your point.
I reckon they're just playing the top 10 hits of what the radio is feeding them, and that's how they're getting to...
Okay, fair enough.
So I think that them being educated on music actually makes sense. But what doesn't make sense to me is all the little things. Is, like, knowing what waffles are, what a basket is, knowing, like... shit like that.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I was thinking that we were eventually going to kind of touch on this kind of topic of, like, how does this work? How does that work? Like, one thing, because, like, I watched, some people reaction videos to Alvin and the Chipmunks, because I fucking have nothing better to do with my time apart from watching Chipmunks content this week.
6 hours was not enough.
Exactly. No, completely. 6 hours was not enough. And one of the things that, like, people would always complain about is when Simon gets his glasses, they're like, because Dave gives them the glasses from, like, a fucking, like, Santa decoration, and they would be like, how does the glasses have Simon's prescription? And I think at that point, I just kind of accepted the fact that, like, I kind of don't, like, I agree, but I kind of just don't care at this point. Like, because if I'm going to be asking this question every fucking time for the next 6 hours of these movies, I'm going to drive myself fucking insane. I feel like Rhys probably is going to do that more than I. So I just kind of once we got past the first movie, I'm just like, okay, I'm accepting this, whatever. Chipmunks become pop sensations. All right, sure. Chipmunks fucking go to high school. Sure. Like whatever. Like let's just deal with. We'll just roll for the punches, kind of thing.
No, I refuse. I want to know the answers of this world.
That's fair enough, man. Hey,
when the movie has the balls to ask the question directly from Dave's mouth as he meets these chipmunks, but then refuse to answer it and then never ask it again, it's like that they're like, oh, we're covering our bases, we've done it. We've asked the question, let's move on. That's all the world exposition that we're getting is nothing, is no answer whatsoever.
You know what I think? The film didn't account for the fact that a couple of overly eager film enthusiasts that are in their early 20s would be watching this movie. They covered their bases just enough for the kids to accept the fact that there are talking chipmunks. Nuh-uh, we can't buy it though. All right, we need more answers. We need more lore dumping. Where's the novelization? Where's the comic books? Like, come on.
The thing, though, that I think should be, like, okay, let's just ignore all the fantastical elements of this world, right?
Okay, yeah.
But one thing that should be true to the story that we're watching is motivation. It's character motivation, right?
Yeah.
This is what I don't get. Why do the Chipmunks even want to help Dave in the first place, right? Because this is the thing, is like they're outside, like, in the rain, and they're, like, sad, like, they want to come back in, right?
Yeah.
But they want to go back to nature. They want to go back and go back home. But then they immediately...
Wait, when do they state this?
Don't they want to go back to nature when they're, like... Well, because they end up in the... They want to go home. They go into the basket because they want to go home. Because they end up, like, with Dave out of their tree getting chopped down.
Yeah.
And then them being, like, stuck in the tree. They want to go back to their home in nature. They do.
That is not what I got. They pretty much accepted the fact that this is their new reality really fucking quick. Like, once they get to... because...
but that's the thing, right? Is that their motivation goes from them wanting to get back home to then they end up by accident at Dave's house, and then they're like, okay, I guess that we want to live here now.
Yeah, well,
What?
I mean, that's pretty. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much their motivation. I think. You know what I think. Also, in my, I mean, later on, their character motivation is that, like, their driving force is that, you know, they want to help Dave because, you know, they just want a place to kind of crash, kind of thing, and also because they get a lot of free food. They get to eat cheese balls and waffles and, you know, live in luxury, kind of thing. And then the new character motivation is that they just want a dad. They want a family, and they want to celebrate Christmas. Like, yeah, the motivations are all fucking all over the place. I won't lie, they're all over the fucking place. But like, there are character motivations.
They go. Okay, this is how the motivation goes. Is that they very distinctly, they're like, okay, we want to go back home. To then, oh no, food is cool. To, oh no, we want to be people. Like, that's their motivation.
They want a family and they want to celebrate Christmas.
Damn, that is that happens very, very quickly, and it's a big shift. It's a very big shift out of fucking nowhere. But
Who knew? Who would have thought that Alvin the Chipmunks would have a very messy story and character motivations? Who would have thought?
Man, okay, let's talk about these chipmunks, because I remember loving these chipmunks as a kid, but now I do not like these chipmunks.
Yeah.
They are annoying as fuck, I have to say. Yeah. Let's unpack some of these.
Yeah, I agree to an extent. Like, obviously, that's kind of the point. They're meant to be annoying, insufferable little shits, but yeah, it does they go a bit too far with it. I feel like in some of the later entries is where my patience is really tested. I personally really enjoyed of how fucking annoying they are in this movie because it works in terms of my favorite portion of the story, which is just them torturing Dave. I thought that shit was hysterical, honestly. I loved them trashing the house, honestly.
Man, kids love a good food scene, like a food fight, God. Or like them trashing the kitchen.
As a kid, I loved that shit. Actually, no, the food stuff I loved as a kid. Though, seeing Dave's house a mess made me so uncomfortable. I got so stressed whenever I saw the house as a mess. I'm not joking. When I'd see like the waffles on the floor or like all the stuff
under the rug.
Oh yeah, I got so uncomfortable as a kid from that. I'm like, oh god, like I hated that. I hated it. I love the food stuff though.
I remember just thinking as a kid, like, if I was Dave, I would probably just kill these chipmunks. I would probably just be so frustrated that like they would be fucking stomps. Those boys. But yeah, there's something about like, you know, cheese balls going everywhere. It's like the influx. You know what it is, right? It's like when we're a kid, where our food and what we eat is restricted, right? It's controlled by our parents. It's like, no, you're not allowed to eat an entire bag of cheese balls. You can only have a little bit. Only have a little bit of chocolate. So like, with filmmakers putting into their kids' movies these scenes with like an abundance of food really understands kids' desire to just see like an uncontrolled amount of food that just drives them nuts. It's like, oh my god, I wish that I had that many cheese balls right now.
Oh yeah, completely.
And that sends me back to being a kid so much, is like revisiting those sort of scenes.
Oh yeah.
Love that psychology. Okay, let's unpack our three main chipmunks. Alvin, I cannot believe, like, I was so not expecting how sassy he was. That just went over my head.
How are you not expecting it, bro? He's Alvin, the awesome one.
Alvin the awesome, I hated Alvin. He was a little shit, this one. And like, like that is the point though, right? He is the shit one. Like, he's the troublemaker.
Yeah, he's the jackass. He is the one that, like, you know, elicits the famous Alvin scream, you know. So obviously they have to make him an asshole. They have to make him also because kids love that. Kids love a Bart Simpson type character. So of course they're going to really play up his assholery in this film.
Yeah, and I hated him. I felt like Dave throughout this movie, of just like this piece of shit. God, just settle down, Alvin.
I completely agree with you. That, like, you know, it's really interesting that, like, because I'm sure you'd felt this way, but like as a kid watching this, that we're like, oh yeah, Alvin's so cool. Oh my god, he's such a little troublemaker kind of thing, and it's so fun to watch. But then as an adult, you know, as an adult, we sympathise more with Dave rather than as a kid. We're like, oh, come on, Dave, lighten up, man. Come on, give the kids a break kind of thing, to now where we're just like, Dave, just curb stomp these little fucking rats right now.
Oh
my God.
Dude, it's the Greg Heffley syndrome. It's the Greg Heffley effect, where like you're born wanting to be Greg until you grow up knowing that Rowley actually knows what's going on.
Rowley makes more sense.
Yeah, exactly.
My God.
Damn, it is. That actually shows a good like kids film, right? When you sort of watch a slightly different movie as an adult, and from what I remember, my parents didn't hate watching this movie and being dragged to this film when I was a kid.
Yeah,
because there is that aspect of like, you know, the main character is a man figuring out how to be a dad, right, and finding the purpose in being a dad. That's quite cool.
Yeah, no, it is a fun time. I can't say the same for my mum, though. My mum hated taking us to these movies. She told me, like, last night that she fucking hated bringing us to these movies when they were coming out.
Oh, did you see all of them in cinemas, though?
I never saw the fourth one in theaters. I saw the first three in theaters, and I would watch them on repeat. And I'll talk about my experience with Road Chip when we get to it.
Yeah. So, where I actually quite liked Simon. He's my favourite. He's the least annoying.
Yeah. No, that's perfectly fair enough. I actually fucking hated Simon for the first couple of minutes because I'm like, oh, he's the fucking nerd. Oh, he's doing the actually fucking nerd shit. But then as the movie's going on, I'm like, nah, Simon's cool, man. He's got his head on his shoulders. I quite like him.
Where Theodore was my favourite as a kid, where I think it was just being an overweight child that whenever there was the overweight character, I would like they were my person.
You felt represented.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But holy shit, this time round, Theodore's my least favourite chipmunk. He annoys the shit out of me, I have to say.
Yeah, can I ask why does he annoy you so much as opposed to Alvin?
I think it's his voice. I think it's the most high-pitched one out of all of them, and his I'm the dumb one routine. Yeah. No, I did not like that.
Okay, so we're on the same boat.
It was too sickly sweet for me. Yeah, and I like sweet things. I like Ted Lasso, but that's too much.
That is completely fair enough, because, Theodore is also my least favourite. Similar to you, where, you know, the whole, I'm the fat dumb one who likes food a lot. It's like, that's never been funny to me. But also, because I'm also just fucking so, especially in like the later films, I'm so fucking sick of the whole, like, because he's the youngest one, so he's the most like emotional one. Oh, I miss Dave. Oh, I'm so sad kind of thing. I was just like, I'm so fucking sick of it. Shut the fuck up. My God. Yeah. It especially got, I think it might have been the second. It's the second one where it really pushed my patience, which I'll talk about later. But Theodore is the worst one. Easy.
So like this whole movie, right, is about this man with no purpose in his life finding purpose through fatherhood, right?
Yeah.
You know what I found really interesting is that this is the idea of Despicable Me. This is exactly Despicable Me. It's this villainous piece of shit guy.
I call him a fucking villain. Oh my God.
Yeah, he discovered 3 children, all at slightly different ages, fall into his life, and then he discovers how to be a dad. It even ends with like the third act, like recital music show thing, which
God,
so many movies do, but these ones, there's a lot of similarities there. And this is before Despicable Me.
Rhys, it goes even deeper, because when Gru adopts the girls, he's adopting them to use for his own benefit, to, you know, break into Vector's house and steal the moon. And that's what Dave does as well. He takes the Chipmunks in to benefit himself. And obviously, and then it gets to, you know, learns to love them as if they were his own children. It goes deeper than that. What the fuck?
Is there a scene in Despicable Me where the youngest girl comes to Gru's room after she's had a nightmare? Because I think that there is. And then
no. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I feel like
I think there's something in there that is
like
similar.
Adjacent to that.
Yeah, adjacent to that, yes. As surprising as to say, I have not seen Despicable Me in fucking a long time, so I don't remember. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there is something similar, yeah.
And even, like, Ian and Vector as villains are very similar sort of archetypes. They've both got glasses. They both like sort of like have this weird quirkiness to them.
Yeah, they both come from money as well.
Both come from money and are essentially like the main villain. Both of the protagonists are still shitty people, but sort of look up to the villain and want to be them.
Yeah.
They're their golden sort of idea of what they want to be. And then they discover by the end that they don't want to be like that and they just want to be a father instead.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's fucking maddening. Oh my god. I wonder if Despicable Me 2 and the Squeak will have any connections. I guess we'll have to find out, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, even with the Chipmunks being just annoying little shits, they're just the minions. They're the minions. We didn't even tackle on that. Like, they're basically just the minions. They're the minions of the late 2000s. At least I see it.
It's the daughters of Despicable Me mixed with the minions together, right? Yeah, it's a composite.
That's what I mean. Is that like they have the essence of the minions within them, kind of thing. You know?
It's like for Despicable Me, they thought, hey, let's make the Chipmunks a little bit more human. Let's make them actually human, but we still need their cuteness and weirdness. So let's make minions instead. It extracted both parts and then made them into two different concepts.
Damn straight.
Yeah, and sorry, something that came to mind when you were bringing up before about the creator's son taking the helm of this franchise to honor his father.
Yeah,
isn't that interesting? That and sort of beautiful, the reflection that this franchise becomes about fatherhood.
Yeah,
becomes about the significance and how finding purpose through fatherhood and potentially, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but potentially there's this story in real life of, this creative, right, that is so, sort of involved in their art and wanting to create, literally create, creating music. Dave is a music writer. Yeah. So would Ross. Ross would have been a music writer. But then coming to see that the significance in his life is about his children, and then his children taking that and honoring him with that story, with that same exact story. That's actually really nice.
Yeah, it's really sweet, honestly. I want to quickly touch on a little fun fact as well. Is that the piano that Dave uses is, according to Ross Jr., is the original piano that Ross Sr. used to actually write the Chipmunk songs. Funny enough.
What?
Which I thought was a really neat detail, and even it's so weird. There's little Easter eggs in this movie because Dave's house number is 1958, and I'm looking at it thinking that's there for a reason, isn't it? And obviously that's the year that the Chipmunks made their debut, which I'm oh, that's cool. I like that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's nuts.
Are there a lot of other things like that?
It's not really related to Chipmunks, but it is related to Ross, and this blew my fucking mind. I want to quickly touch on it, alright? So, Rhys, you've seen Rear Window, yeah?
Yes.
It'll make sense in a second. Okay, so, I found out that you remember the songwriter in Rear Window?
Yes. I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently that is Ross Bagdasarian Sr. playing the piano in the movie. That is the creator of Alvin and the Chipmunks 4 years before he created the little fuckers, was featured in an Alfred Hitchcock movie that you and I both really fucking loved and studied to no end. And
I can't believe we didn't bring this up in an essay.
I know. What the fuck, man? I'm surprised doing the research. I didn't stumble upon this. What the fuck? Going through that learning about that blew my fucking mind. I told Nicholas this before we started recording, and he was like, "Oh, what the hell? That's interesting." And I was like,
"That is very interesting."
I was like, I could not wait to tell Rhys about this. I was so excited.
Damn. Let's. Speaking of villainous roles. Ian,
here we go.
Let's talk about David Cross as Ian.
Good old Uncle Ian.
freaking brings it to this performance and really takes the role of a cartoon character, right?
Oh, yeah. He's definitely the one that is in on the joke because he purely did this role just for money. He only did it for money. He hasn't seen the movie, but he enjoyed his experience on this film. And despite the fact that he got shit on by fans and fellow comedians, including Patton Oswalt, who, you know who that is, right, Rhys?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, he got shit on by a lot of people for it, and, you know, he was just like, nah, I just did it for money. He was very straight up about it. He's like, I did it for money, but it doesn't feel like he's...
He has not seen the movie. He has not seen the movie.
No. And, like, you know, sometimes when actors, you know, take roles for money, they just phone it in kind of thing. But then on the opposite side of the spectrum, there are actors that will do roles for money and will just not care. Will just, like, not care in terms of they will just act however the hell they want and just go completely just ridiculous with their be in on the joke. And that is why I fucking love David Cross in this movie, because he's clearly in on the joke and he's just playing the role with this level of passive aggressiveness that I just fucking love about it. It's so funny. And it makes sense as to why you know, Uncle Ian has had a bit of a meme status recently, you know, which I just love it. I love it so much.
Or like alpha male Uncle Ian edits being found all over the place.
Yes. Oh my god. I just knew from his first introduction where, you know, he's approaching Dave and you could tell he does not want to talk to him. Puts on a shit-eating grin, and then him talk to the security guard being like, "Hey, back off, man. This is Dave Savil." I'm like, oh my god. I love him already. I cannot wait to see what he does.
I love that Ian and Dave have a backstory with one another.
I know. I didn't even know that. What the fuck?
That they both went to college together, and it's almost like Ian has become the man that Dave wants to be, and then there's this like power dynamic there, which is so charged, and it feels really, really charged. And man, Ian's just a piece of shit, like fucking awful human. But what he does do, which I'm pretty impressed about, is like when Dave starts going on his seemingly schizophrenic, psychotic attack, and he brings in a box of chipmunks to his office to be like, "Hey, I found the new best thing," and they don't sing to him. Ian's reaction is more pissed off for like wasting his time rather than concerned for his friend that just brought in a box of chipmunks and is like, "They gotta sing guys, sing." People are so sort of chill about him like coming across as completely insane.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. He literally just treats it like it's just like a minor, like just an inconvenience, pretty much. He's just like, I'm going to pretend I have a lunch to go to. Oh, I have a lunch to go to. Bye. And I'm just like, okay, this is the world we're living in, where psychosis does not mean anything. It's just a minor inconvenience. It's just a minor inconvenience, I guess. Like, what the fuck?
Your best old friend of like years and years and years is like obviously showing some mental deconstruction, and it is simply just a waste of your time.
Yeah, well,
that is as far as it goes.
Even if everyone else, honestly, that's very in character for Uncle Ian, honestly, because I feel like even if everyone else showed genuine concern for Dave, Ian would still treat it like an inconvenience because that's his character. He's a megalomaniac asshole. He's the classic producer character in all those musical biopics where they only care about money and they don't care if they abuse their talent. They just, all they want is to just make them famous and then make the big bucks kind of thing, you know?
It's all about the bottom line and that's it.
Exactly, like, you know, in this film, along with other films like Rocket Man or Walk the Line or, not Bohemian Rhapsody, I don't want to talk about that movie, but, you know, it's like those musical biopics. This stands on the same rung as those films, where it is about the abuse of the artists in the music industry, because when the Chipmunks are adopted by Uncle Ian after having a falling out with Dave, you know, they're like, oh, he's so much cooler, he lets us do what we want, and then we see a nice little critique on the music industry and the abuse on, you know, young artists in the industry. That intro wasn't a joke. They do tackle upon the abuse of young artists in the industry, where to the point that, you know, he's working them to exhaustion. He's even, you know, the scene where he gives them coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's clearly a stand-in for drugs. That is I see that's a stand-in for coke, basically. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, Tim Hill knew what he was doing with that. He knew what he was doing. That's I like that. That's clever.
Well, they are like he is like pumping them full of drugs, right? Like that's what he's doing. And
yeah, completely.
Like, probably it would be to give child chipmunks full coffees is probably as physically damaging as like being fed speed as a human adult consecutively. Probably more damaging, to be honest. It's like
let's be honest. So the chipmunks are probably going to die an early death anyways from eating like cheese balls and waffles. You know.
True. Good point. Yeah, they probably shouldn't be. Yeah, I feel like that they're not very natural foods. They wouldn't be found in the wild as much.
Yeah, that's the most unrealistic part about this movie, I reckon.
It is actually a really wholesome arc for the Chipmunks, right? When they're given all these things from fame and through Uncle Ian, like sharing them with gifts, and then realizing that it's like, it's not about that though. It's about like the compassion and the love from like a father. Yeah. From like someone that cares about me. That's more important. Which is actually like a lovely, important message to show kids, right?
Yeah.
Is that it's like maybe your parents aren't showering you with gifts and everything like that, but let's just say a random person was doing that, but they're doing that to get something out of you. It's not giving the value of just like a hug from your parent or some sort of compassion from them. Which is actually really nice.
Exactly.
This knows what it's doing, this movie.
It's really bizarre that, like, having watched this movie, I'm thinking, oh, this is actually kind of sweet. I actually really like this through line narrative of found family and the kind of the character arc that the Chipmunks go on, where they realize that like fame isn't everything. Family matters more. To quote Vin Diesel, family. That's you don't have to say anything else, just family, man, honestly.
This is a member of the not a member, this is an installment in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Oh god,
it's a hidden installment. There's also to go back a little bit on like, I'm so surprised that Dave wasn't, by the end of having these chipmunks for one day, wasn't sure that he was going crazy, because he loses his job after one day of this shit.
Yeah.
And he works in marketing, like me, and he like has this presentation to clients for like to show sales projections and this new idea for a commercial, right? And his boss Jane Lynch is there at his client pitch, and she would be fuming if he fucked this pitch up as badly as he does. But she keeps on just like keeping a straight face, just like, oh yeah, well, what does Theodore's butt mean?
Exactly. She's more chill towards Dave as a marketing executive than she is to fucking students as a gym teacher in Glee. Never seen Glee, but that's fucking hilarious.
True, and then he loses his job and then comes home and still thinks, no, the chipmunks are real, and I'm not going insane. It's just a ridiculous situation that's happening in front of me. And then, wow, so there's a love element to this movie with Dave's ex-girlfriend Claire.
Can I just say that the introduction to Claire has one of the worst fucking exposition dumps of all goddamn time. Her character has some of the worst writing I've ever fucking seen in a movie.
She is such a function, right?
Yeah, no,
she didn't have to be there. She didn't have to be there at all, because the story isn't even about that.
Not even at all. And she doesn't show up in the later fucking movie, so what was the point?
Oh, Claire and Dave have zero chemistry. It's all just for this love doctor scene, which you must have gotten inspired by Alvin with the love doctor, right?
I recoiled in horror when he said it, and I think that's where I came up with the moniker of Love Doctor, and I was fucking horrified. I had to pause it.
It is forming. This movie is forming of you and the man that you are to this day.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Just for context, Kane called himself the Love Doctor as a kid to people.
For the record, all right, audience. For the record, I said it once to our friend Lawrence. Where he was, he had a crush on a girl back in year 6, so I called myself the Love Doctor once. Because I I don't know why I pretended to have a girlfriend that went to another school back in the day.
Oh,
so,
okay, everyone did. It's okay, bro. It's okay.
Yeah. So, you know.
What was her name? She was really hot, right? She was really, really hot.
What the fuck? You calling a 6th grader hot? That's kind of weird, Rhys.
No. That's what you would have said at the time.
back in the day.
Don't turn on me. Don't turn on me here.
No, yeah, back in the day, I was like, yeah, no, she's really pretty. I don't remember what name I gave her, but yeah, so yeah,
I'm not calling a 6th grader hot.
Yeah,
this person doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, audience, don't worry, I'm joking. It's all good. What do you call it? Yeah, no, I said it once, and ever since then, these fuckers have never let me live it down. They never let me live it down. And then watching this movie, I just got another hit of fucking PTSD from it. And now I'm just forever going to be shell shocked from this. It's going to haunt me till the end of my days.
Well, equally, Alvin is not a very good love doctor because, man, Dave would have come across as a complete mental case on this date, but also Claire's skills and observation are at 0%, dude.
Oh my god, yeah.
Fucking Dave gets a roll thrown at him from off screen, and Alvin goes bow chicka wow wow, bow chicka wow wow in the background, and she ignores this. She just thinks, Dave, what's going on here?
Oh my god.
You just saw a roll get thrown at him from across the room, and you're hearing voices around the house, and you're just not even batting an eye, dude. What is wrong with you?
You want to know my kind of my headcanon behind it is that, you know, as established in the film, you know, she's quoted by saying, you know, same old Dave, guy's always fooling around kind of thing, and you know, she's probably so you know, this is the role, the bow chicka wow wow. That's classic Dave right there. That actually made me very curious as to, like, what the fuck does she mean by same old Dave, guy's always fooling around? What did he do in his past to elicit this, like, kind of
this standard?
This
like,
standard,
this is normal for him.
Yeah. Like, what did he, like, I have in my notes, it's like, what did he do back in the day?
What other animals has he suggested have are creating his wildest dreams to come true?
You know what? Maybe this movie is a spiritual successor or a sequel to fucking Mallrats, because, you know, Brody in that movie is always fooling around. Maybe in a way this is a continuation on Brody's character from Mallrats. Who knows? Because what the fuck?
The line of, oh, you're always fooling around is such an umbrella, easy line to just I guess, excuse all things that don't make sense, or all weird things that a character is doing, even though that this, no way that there's any basis and standard of him doing this shit in the past, right? And if there is, I want to see that prequel so badly.
Oh my god, same dude, oh my god.
Also, Ian does not bat an eye when the Chipmunks show up at his house and they sing to him. He does not bat a single eye.
I love the shot of the zoom in shot of him where he says welcome to Jet Records. I love the smile he gives, because that is just the smile, like, just out of context, that is just the smile of a man that is just just has lost the plot, that is just gone into psychosis. I love it so much.
Yeah. And also, like, that they get famous, like, go worldwide overnight, it feels like.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. It is literally overnight. Is that they're in the supermarket?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought you meant. I didn't think. I thought you were being literal about it. Yeah, it is overnight. They literally, like, record, produce, and release it in one night.
And then in the film, it's about 5 minutes of screen time until they are, like, on a global scale. Like, they go from nothing to everyone knows who they are, which is interesting because I thought that this movie would potentially be one of those rise to fame movies. No, it is just like they're in immediately.
Mate, they're just that good, man. They're just that good. It's like the Beatles, in it. You know, they just blew up overnight, kind of thing.
True. Queen maybe are talented, but Bohemian Rhapsody doesn't show them in the way that if they were Chipmunks that can sing. That is a next level worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah, I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles. That doesn't compare to Christmas Don't Be Late by the Chipmunks or Witch Doctor by the Chipmunks. Like come on, man. Honestly.
Okay, you know what doesn't make any sense for me here?
Okay.
Is is there is, like, when Dave first takes in the Chipmunks to show to Ian, the reason they don't sing is because they have stage fright.
Yeah.
But they immediately get over their stage fright, and like, not only do they sing then to Ian, but then they take the fucking world podium, and like everyone sees them and they perform live and stuff, and there's not a single moment of stage fright there. What? Then why would they? What a functional thing for them to have stage fright at the start.
Yeah, I know. It's just why did you guys have stage fright? Oh, sorry, Dave, because the script demanded it.
Exactly.
That's basically it. That's pretty much it. Like,
there's
my God.
And then the whole thing goes on that Dave then discovers that he just wants to be a father for these chipmunks, and then allows him into their heart. And where I start to really not like this movie is sort of when they start to get famous. And like when it's like when the stakes feel really high and there's like a big I do not like the third act of this movie, I've got to say.
Dude, you are preaching to the choir right now, because same here. I felt myself as the film went on. I'm like, I mean, sure, it's fine, but like, can we go back to the stuff where the Chipmunks were torturing Dave and Dave was just being an all-around piece of shit to them? Like that, like the first half of this movie is comedic gold, I feel. Like, it's so fucking funny. And then the third act is just kind of going through the motions, you know? And also, can I just say as well, sorry to interrupt, but can I just say that it takes Dave a long time to get to, trying to get the Chipmunks back? Did you notice that? It takes him. It takes him until like the night before they go on their world tour. And he's like, "Okay, now I'll go grab it." It's like, you couldn't have done this earlier. Apparently, you love them so much, and yet you've just been moping around. Like, get into gear, mate. Like, come on.
No, but that's the process of the arc, though, right? He had to lose what he loved, and then sort of slowly discover that is actually what he wanted. It wasn't the fame. It was a family. It was a family that he needed.
I guess it still takes him a while.
And the thing that's funny is that it's like at the end he still does sort of like get the things that he wanted with like the sort of fame and fortune, and gets the girl at the end.
Yeah.
So he just happened so the exploits, because he starts as wanting to exploit these chipmunks in the exact same way that Ian does.
Yeah.
But then he also discovers an extra thing that he wants to love them as well. That like, but he still sort of exploits them. He does like give them boundaries and stuff like that. Like, he doesn't go the extra mile, but he still does have a lot of material gain from these chipmunks coming into his life.
Oh yeah, completely. Like, honestly, I don't blame. I mean, the whole like family thing's great, but also like, I don't blame Dave for going back for the chipmunks, because like, he could still squeeze some money out of these little fuckers. Like, come on. Like, I'm not gonna, like, if I was Dave, I would not miss out on that. Like, after giving up the chipmunks, I'd be like, wait, hang on, I can make money off of this. Now Uncle Ian's doing it. Now fuck that shit. I'm going back and making some more money off these little buggers. Sure, they'll trash my house, but whatever. It's all a means to an end.
He's like, I am here for the love, but if I get to have love as well as a buttload of money, then why not? Why not just go for that?
Exactly. Yeah. That won't hurt. That won't hurt at all, kind of thing. Oh my God. Oh, I just remembered. Do you remember like the Christmas, like when they actually celebrate Christmas? His fucking gift he gives to them.
Oh my God! The savings bonds.
The savings bonds. I lost my shit when he gave them those. I'm just like, okay, this is just peak Dave cruelty right here. They're chipmunks. They don't have fucking bank accounts, Dave, you moron. And two, they're children, okay? Why you got, like, you can set up savings bonds or whatever for kids. Why would you give them to them? Even if they were human children, why would you give human children savings bonds? Because they're supposed to be like, I think like 10 or something, like Bart Simpson age. Like,
but that's the point, is that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's a blubbering idiot. He's a blubbering idiot, this man.
I know.
He doesn't know how to love.
Oh.
I actually sort of love that. That it's like, because what that shows, right, is that it's like he's trying, he just has no idea what the fuck to do.
Yeah, true. You're fair enough.
I think maybe why this third act is so annoying is that it's it's like because Dave isn't really in it that much, and it becomes the like the Ian show, and also like there's like the big action set pieces, and it's like
the action set piece fucking sucked.
It does. It really, really sucks because it's not an action movie, because there's no weight to anything. And kids' movies always have to have that, right? Where it's it thrives in being a comedy rather than an action movie.
Yeah.
But I guess they have to do it. They've got to have a big climax.
Yeah, they gotta have like a big like action / like slapstick action climax, which like I've never been a big fan of like slapstick kind of action. It's always been, I don't know, it's never been my kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I will say that Uncle Ian still gets some funny moments, like he still gets them, but I don't know. I much prefer his interactions with Dave as opposed to like him with the Chipmunks. Like, you know, I don't know. It was kind of gratifying seeing him torture the Chipmunks after they had tortured Dave for so long, but it got a bit too much after a while.
But overall, I was pretty happy that, like, the whole experience goes pretty quickly. Like, it's like an 88-minute movie or some shit.
Yeah.
And it flies by.
Oh,
like
my God, yeah.
And we're approaching right now the length of the freaking movie and just, like, talking about it. So, did you have any, like, last sort of things that you wanted to mention other than, like, I guess Simon eats his brother's shit in this movie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I will say that, fun fact, in the trailer, Alvin eats the shit, and they changed it to Simon.
Yeah.
Which is fucking bizarre. Maybe, I guess Alvin had a freak out at the producers for that, because, you know, he's the top billing star. He doesn't want to be stooping to that level, I guess.
Maybe they're like Alvin's too cool. We don't want to ruin the reputation of Alvin.
Yeah,
he's the cool one. Simon, he's the nerd. He can eat shit.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's a nerd. Exactly. Like, you know, nerds have to be the butt of the joke, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess how I'll close this off is just by saying that this was a very pleasant surprise, and in a way, I have more of an appreciation. I like this movie a lot more than when I was a kid. If that as crazy as that sounds. Yeah.
No way.
No, I in a way, I actually enjoyed this a lot more compared to when I was a kid. I feel like I got a lot more out of this. I'm not gonna lie. As crazy as that sounds, it sounds again crazy. I know, but that's how I feel, and I'm sticking by that. I'm sticking by my guns. This was a pleasant surprise, and had me excited to go into the later films.
That's awesome, man. I definitely did not get as much out of this as I did as an 8-year-old. As an 8-year-old, I was fucking chipmunk mad.
And that is completely fair enough.
Where now it was like I really enjoyed it, and like I do have to say, it could have been a lot more shallow than what it actually was. Because there's this line that Uncle Ian says during the movie that I think embodies almost the entire film, which is he says when talking about like the validity of them going on world tour and if like the Chipmunks will market to China, and he says they're chipmunks that talk, people will come. And that is, I think, exactly what the producers said when pitching this movie. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page at MarathonMeOfficial, all one word, and our Instagram, MarathonMe_official, to keep up to date on the podcast. And hey, if you want to get into contact with us, email us at marathonmepodc, yes, the letter C, @gmail.com. Like podcast without the ask.